What's going on, y'all? It's the Mobile Motivator, aka Mr. Colgate, coming at you once again. Today is Father's Day, so of course, big ups to all the fathers out there that's doing it, and the guys who might be substituting as fathers out there for kids out there. Definitely big ups to you. Today I'm gonna do actually the second part of what I told you guys I was gonna do as far as Glory Days 2 come out. Last week I talked a little bit about it, so now I'm gonna give you the steps that I took in order to get out of that slump of always saying, back then I wish I was doing this still, or back then I used to be like this, and back in the day I used to be like that. So I got it all written down. As you can see, this is kind of like my setup during the week, and I'll get into this a little bit more, but during the week, people think that it's just something that I come off with the cuff of being able just to speak. And yeah, I might have the gift of being able just to speak on a topic intellectually, detailed, and in-depth, but I actually do a lot of studying. Eric Thomas is one of the main people I study as far as how he does his videos, how he shoots, how he talks, how he engages the audience, even though there's no audience really there. It's just him and cameramen, or him and the cameras himself, down to his equipment, down to where he started and how he started, all the way up to I take notes, I write out my own speeches, I make sure my speeches are sounding good and it's quality content that I'm giving you guys, because I don't want to give you anything that, first of all, I'm not actually doing and taking first steps on doing it myself. Secondly, I don't want to give you nothing that sounds, I guess you could say, crappy, for lack of better words. But here's the steps, and let me go ahead and get to it. So, first of all, how do you come out of the funk of the glory days? Step one, and this is what I wrote, you have to find your why. You might have had it back then when you were playing football. Your why might have been because you wanted to get your mom a better house, or you wanted to support your family. You might have played basketball. You might have decided you wanted to be a doctor because your family member or friends had a certain illness and you wanted to find that cure. So now that you aren't doing what you wanted to do from back then, you actually have to find that why again. And not just find it, you have to evolve it. So evolving your why is making it relevant once again, because the reason why is because of this. You had the why back then, but you quit on it. You had the why back then, but you stopped on it. So now that you had quit and stopped on that why, it's no longer going to give you that potent impact that it used to give you before you stopped. You were running hard, because I want to grow up and be an NFL player. That was one of my biggest things. That's why I always go to it. I wanted to be in the NFL because my dad was running back for Boise State when he was coming up. He was good. Everybody was bragging on him in the town. I want to prove, my dad's lineage, and I want to show him that I can be just as good as my dad was, but I want to take it up a notch. I want to just go past college. I want to go to NFL. I had the privilege to actually go and play semi-pro. Like I said, I told y'all before, and y'all seen it if you looked at Glory Days 2, but I quit. So I never actually fulfilled that dream and that why that I had to play football. And it's not a bad thing, it wasn't where I was supposed to go, but at the time, I had such a drive to go do it. I know I was just determined. Nobody was gonna stop me. But now I have my own family. That same why is not gonna get me to where I need to be. So me wanting to play football is no longer relevant. It doesn't have any type of potency. Yeah, I can train my body to go back and doing that. I'm only 28, so there's no issues or anything stopping me. But it's no longer what I really want to do. So now I had to evolve my why. My why couldn't be I want to play football in respects to my dad. Now it's I want to provide for my family and give them a better life, because that's what my father told me. That's how he taught me. He told me, you handle your family first. Everything comes second. Family comes first. This is after God. So it's God, then family. But you will always last. As a man, you went to bed last. You locked up the house. You made sure everybody was safe and sound and protected. I still do that to this day. But anyways, I don't want to get into that long story, but so that's one of the things. Also, you have to find what motivates you. Having a why and having something to motivate you are two different things. People think that having a why and having something that motivates you are the same thing, but it's not. It really isn't. Because your why is the thing, the driving force to say, I'm going to do this. But it doesn't mean it's the driving force to push you in action to get it done. So with your why, once you find your why, and once you evolve that why from back then I used to be this way and I used to do this, that, and the third, Now you have to find something that motivates you to get that why done. Mine, I want to take care of my wife. I want to get her out of the job that she's doing because it is, in essence, it's killing her. Okay, she's stressed out when she comes home. She's always tired. She gets sick when she's not supposed to be sick. And it's just the stresses of the job. That's for everybody. Everybody has stresses of the job. But I want to get my wife out of that job. So now that's my why. Now what's going to motivate me to get it done is me seeing her every single day in the state she's in and getting fed up with it. Now that's what I meant by your why and what motivates you are two different things. My why is I want her to come home from work. Okay, well, if I didn't have anything to motivate her, I could just go play the lottery. If I hit the lottery, guess what? She's gonna come home. Or I can go rob a bank. If I safely make it somehow without getting killed, shot, or put in jail and having them take the money back anyway, that'll get her out of the job. So that was what I mean by the why. The why is why you want to do it. Now what motivates me is, okay, get up off your butt on Father's Day instead of enjoying the superficial, which everybody else, and I'm not saying anything wrong about Father's Day, but to me it's a superficial holiday if I'm not fulfilling the roles as a father for my family that I need to be fulfilling. So that's what motivates me to get it done. The second step would be, what made you hold on to the glory days? You have to evaluate that. Why are you holding on to the glory days? Is it because you feel that you don't have a self-worth? Is it because you might feel that what you're doing right now is not where you want to be? You have to evaluate those things to find out where it was that you might have tripped up and slipped up and weren't able to bounce back as fast as you thought you were. So reevaluate that. After you've gotten your why and you found something that motivates you, reevaluate and reassess what it was that stopped you from getting to where you want to get to, so that mistake or that slip up, if it comes again, because it will, nobody's perfect. Nobody says, I chose to do this and in 2 days I got it done. Nobody is like that actually truly had to work for their dreams. So you want to evaluate what your mistake was. You have to evaluate what your failure was and learn from it. You're not evaluating to say, oh, I'm going to stay on it, I'm going to stick on it, and I'm going to keep on thinking about it, and it's going to keep playing in my mind to make me more depressed and stressed out. No, you evaluate it, find out where you messed up, find out what you missed, find out the opportunity that you passed over or looked over, evaluate it, put it into a lesson, keep it inside you to say, I never want to go back to that again. Third step is find something that you're passionate about and get to starting. So when the starting gun goes, so when the starting gun goes off, you keep your head down and just dig. What I mean by that, I'm using a track analogy. They shake, they do all of this, they warm up, they're getting their bodies warm and loosed up, and then it's go time. They say, all right, racers, on your marks. You see they get their little final shakes in, they get down, they put their hands behind the line. They go through their little ritual, getting their feet, some tap twice, some tap 3 times, whatever, and then they just put their head down. They don't look up, they don't look at anybody, they just focus. I gotta get the start off, perfect start, dig, dig, dig. And then y'all hear, pow, and everybody comes out of the gate, hard, going hard. And they still, even though they're going in the race, and they're actually doing the motion of running a race against somebody else, they're still looking down because why? Those first few meters that they have to run, they understand that they have to dig and gain acceleration. After they've gained acceleration, momentum starts to kick in. Now they still have to do some work. They still have to push it and accelerate and accelerate and accelerate and accelerate. But momentum now is building up. So those legs, they're turning by themselves at a certain speed. But they know, okay, keep pushing. Legs, you can go a little faster. You can go faster. You can go faster. You can go faster. But momentum is now kicked in to help them out. So you have to first dig and gain momentum. You don't have the momentum right when you come out the blocks. You have to gain that momentum. So you have to put your head down and you have to dig towards whatever that goal that you want to achieve. And you just got to keep your head down. You got to keep digging. There's no other way for me to say it, but other than reiterate and repeat that. All right. And then finally, you don't stop. You don't stop. Listen to this. I want you to catch this. You don't slow down and you don't stop before you get to the finish line. There's been so many people that stop and slow down before they got to the finish line. They trip up, they fall when they were in the first place. Now they're last. They don't get back up in time. The person that was right behind them chasing that same dream, that decided I'm gonna dig and keep going through, and I'm gonna lean into the finish line and keep going, even though I might have gone to the finish line, I'm gonna try out just a few more meters just to make sure I got past the finish line. They win it. They get to the goals. They achieve everything that the other person wanted to achieve. But why? Because that other person decided, oh, the goal's right here. It's tangible. It's touchable. I can go ahead and slow down now. I can take a break. I can rest instead of still accelerating through that finish line. So you definitely do not want to stop. You want to accelerate and keep pushing through that finish line. So one day you can say, you know, back in the day when your grandkids are your kids are around you, however long you live, you can actually say, I left a legacy because back in the day, I did this. Back in the day, I did that. Back in the day, I was doing this. And now, you know what? Now I'm ready for you to go ahead and take me. And you can go out. Just like that. That'll be a beautiful picture if I can go out that way that day where I don't have any health issues or anything. And I can say, God, I'm ready. And God say, okay, mama, come on home. That'll be great. But, so, that's just a little bit of, you know, what I mean by you got to give everything you got. You got to get out your glory days. You got to get out that slump. Stuff that is going to definitely help build my skill, build my talent, build my gift. And I look at people who have made it to where I want to be at. Eric Thomas, and I know y'all probably like, yo, why you keep bringing him up? It's because he's talking to the NFL. He's done NFL voiceovers. He's talked to NBA teams. He's going to colleges. He's going overseas. So he's doing pretty much everything that I want to get to. So I'm actually just copying the system. Just do the system, people. It's not that hard. You do the system, you learn from the system, and eventually the system will treat you as good as it's treating everybody else. Yes, it's going to be hard work. Yes, you're going to have to bleed a little bit. Yes, you're going to have to give some tears. Yes, you're going to sweat. You're going to work. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Yes, you might have to sacrifice, you know, hanging out with the family and doing the fun things that you used to do. But guess what? The things that you used to do are where you at, are the reason why you at where you at now. If you want to get better, you have to do better. You got to put yourself around the people that do better. I'm not saying get rid of your friends. Sometimes you might lose friends because you're trying to get better, and that's okay. Because guess what? Everybody's not always there for you all the time. Sometimes there's seasons. Sometimes there's weeks. I mean, it just depends. I'm reading, learning the business. You know, so definitely telling you about just studying and being able to master the business that you're in. Another book, The Automatic Millionaire. You know, this book right here, I done read it in some of the stuff that got. I'm like, really? Is it that simple? So you learn from people who have done it and found the simple ways, and they give you the shortcuts. So you most definitely need to read that, The Automatic Millionaire. One of the baddest women in the money market right now, or making money and showing people how to do money, Susie Orman, The Laws of Money. You know, people think that, oh, because I know how to go out and earn a penny, I can make that penny work for me. You're totally wrong. You gotta pick up a book and read. Of course, the guy who made Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, Who Took My Money. You know, this is a great book. It definitely helps you find out how to pretty much move money in certain areas. And I know a lot of y'all are like, why you got all these books about money? Because in my mind, I'm already a millionaire. I'm already a billionaire. I've got money to leave to my kids. But I can't do that unless I know how to manage that money correctly. So these people have money. They know how to manage money correctly. They lost a lot of money. I mean, in one book, Robert Kiyosaki was talking about how he actually lost a business that he had, and he was almost $1 million in the hole. And he went to his rich dad, and his rich dad said, congratulations, you finally failed for once, and now you got to learn how to bounce back. And he had to understand that having that $1 million, sorry, Mom, I'm calling, having that $1 million and trying to go out and get a job just wasn't going to do it. So that's one. Masters of Success, Proven Techniques for Achieving Success in Business and Life. That's a great book. It goes through different stories of how people overcame failures, how they've seen success, different outtakes about what success is and the perspectives of success. So you definitely want to pick this book up. And most of these books, guys, I got at Ed McKay. $5 here, $5 there. Books that people have read and taken in and given back to Ed McKay, the trader, for some more books. So definitely check out any local used book stores and definitely see what they dig. Just dig for books and see what you can find. And then this one that I'm really enjoying. Brother West, Cornell West, Living and Loving Out Loud. I've just started this book probably this week, and I'm not too far in, if you can see that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but man, this book is one of those books where you want to keep reading, even though you gotta go pick somebody up or you gotta go be somewhere. You don't want to quit reading it, and you just want to keep going and going and going, because I've already learned so much from reading this book that I never even thought of. I never even seen it the way he's able to see it. So definitely grab that one. Another one that I actually let somebody borrow, one of my friends, is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. You want to check that book out. Why? Because he understands that the little things that you do make a big difference. People think that you think that you gain weight because you ate one burger. No, you didn't go from 150 pounds to 300 off of one burger. You went from 150 pounds to 300 burgers eating. 300 pounds to from 150 pounds to 300 pounds because you ate burger after 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 burger. So it's the small choices that you do that make the big statements over time. So without further ado, guys, appreciate you listening to Mr. Colgate, aka and I'm gonna get back with you. And right now, my tech guy, I'm doing it on my own today. You know, he's celebrating with his pops, and I definitely understand that. Like I said, you know, definitely celebrate with your family while they're still here. Show them love, because I'm definitely about to get on Skype and talk to my dad and show him some love too. But I'll get back with y'all next week, and we'll go from there. We'll keep on pumping this thing out. It's June, so we have half of the year is gone, and I'm kind of anxious to see where I'm at in another 6 months. And end of the year is coming up, where I've been built at, what I've built up. And yeah, guys, that's it.